What's the first thing most of our customers do when they receive their reserve study? Well, they flip to the reserve funding recommendation to see how much the monthly contribution should be. That single number might get all the attention at first, but how do you know that number is right for your association? In this section of our Developing the Funding Plan webinar, we'll show you the principles and thought processes that, when applied, result in a great reserve funding plan for your association.
Well, thank you, Paige, and to our audience today, thank you for inviting Brian and I into your office or home. And I want to start out with reminding you what Paige said a moment ago. We read the comments you write in the end of session survey. And that's exactly why we're presenting this material today. About a month ago, Brian and I did our Reserve Studies 102 program that talks about the Reserve Studies financial side. And a lot of you said you wanted to see the application of that theory. And so that's exactly what we're doing today, showing you our thought process, what we go through, and the actual things we do, all to help you more effectively understand and apply the results of our reserve study at your association. Now, this is how we'll divide our time today. I'll start out by laying a bit of introductory foundation before Brian starts with the demonstration. And part of that introduction is every question about reserve funding starts with expenses. What expenses are we trying to work with here and offset with funding? Well, that reserve deterioration is real and ongoing. It's literally a force of nature. If you stop doing any maintenance, you'll very quickly see the deterioration set in. But fortunately, Mother Nature is very steady, slow and steady, kind of like the tortoise and the hare. And it's the board's job to just keep up with that slow and steady deterioration with the right maintenance at the right time. And that takes money. Many of the expenses at your association are indeed covered by insurance, but I want to make sure that you understand that normal deterioration is not covered by insurance. Insurance is for accidents, not normal aging and deterioration. There's no triggering event like a tree falling or a big hailstorm, so there's no property insurance coverage. And remember that your directors and officers liability insurance is to defend you in the normal course of performing your role as a board member. But if you're not doing your job, and your job is indeed to follow the governing documents, follow the law, and take care of the property, then you shouldn't expect your defense to be funded by the association's D&O policy. You may be kind of hung out to dry on that. And in speaking about your role, I want to talk about home affordability for just a moment. That's not your job as a manager or board member. Your job is to make sure the bills get paid. Individual owners are the ones who make choices about what they can or cannot afford. So your job is to set the assessments where they need to be, and the owners can make their own choice about if they choose to live in the association. And my last comment about your role is to just remind you that if your actions are ever challenged, what you've done will be measured by the 3-part business judgment rule. So you always want to have this in the back of your minds, that you want to be able to demonstrate that you acted such that the association got good quality care, and that you were focused on making sure you were loyal first to the needs of the association before your own personal agenda or pocketbook, and that you reached out for counsel or professional help when you didn't know what to do. So these 3 concepts should be shaping your performance, your execution, your planning about how do you react to, well, what do I do now with reserves and funding reserves at your association? And these are the kind of things that we think about that are in the back of our minds. These are the 4 guiding principles, reserve funding principles found in National Reserve Study standards. And number 1, the funds are to exist when needed. We're trying to set something up that is stable from year to year, not rocking the boat. We're trying to spread out reserve funding evenly and fairly over the years, over the homeowners, and then finally being fundamentally just fiscally responsible. Again, these are the 4 things that are on our minds, just like the 3 business judgment rule elements should always be on your mind. And we'll talk today about funding goals. And the standard measure we're going to use having to do with reserve fund strength is percent funded. Brian will explain that a little more. But as you can see on this chart on the left side, special assessments are common when the reserves are in the weak 0 to 30% range. Cash flow problems, not enough reserves to do the project that you need to do, and you're pushed into special assessment land. Now, on the other hand, special assessments are rare off on the right when your reserves are in the strong over 70% range. And we'll talk about that again in guiding your associations to a safe place. Why? So you can have sufficient funds to do your projects on time. So we're going back to funding principle number 1. So we'll put these things together. This is how we measure things. This is what we're going to talk about as we move forward.
At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.